Down in Oklahoma, there's a place called Henryetta. They don't allow no dancing in that town. So if you want to mix the sexes, then you better go to Texas, or you'll be in the city jail for the sun goes down.
Good morning, Green Country. Happy weekend, happy Saturday, and welcome to the show. Bronco Brad here in Henrietta, America. Henrietta, Oklahoma, the home of a 16-time world champion, bronc rider, bull rider, all-around cowboy, the great Jim Shoulders, and home of a 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl MVP, the great Troy Aikman, and, of course, last but definitely not least, one of the greatest actresses of all time. She played in movies that won Oscars. She won a Tony. She played in great TV shows like Designing Women and Bewitched. Yes, the great Alice Ghostley. And Henrietta, Oklahoma is home of Love Ford, where, guess what? Yeah, we are doing it. We have up to $15,000 off F-150s. 25 models. They got to go. They got to go now. And today is like it. They're giving new incentives out. They're going to cut those things off. So if you want a big discount, that's it. We're discounting the 26 is huge too. Expeditions up to $8,000, up to $9,000 off. Transit up to $10,000 off. Come see me, man. We're just waxing them. Of course, you get the Love Plus 15-year, 150,000 mile warranty, no cost to you, and a chance to get that thing paid off up to $50,000. Yep, it's happening all here at Love Ford in Henrietta. So great things happening. And July, I got Mr. David Garrett with me again. I know you guys know him by now, but yes, David, thanks for coming in again.
My pleasure.
David, it's like well past now the halfway point of this year. And I got to tell you, we look at each year and go, oh, man, I can't believe it. It's already halfway over. I ain't got too many of these summers left.
It's all right. 20 years older than you. I probably got it less than that.
No, you're not. This halfway point jazz is getting old. So you've been keeping up with any of these sports going on?
A little bit. We've been getting ready for school, and I've been kind of preparing myself for that. I'm still testing in English proficiency to try to get another certification. So I've been in the computer studying for that, and now that we bored everybody to death in the first couple of minutes.
I thought you would think the Dallas Cowboys, I don't know about the Saints, but do you think the Dallas Cowboys would have vetted your proficiency in English before they hired you to call their games?
Well, I got lucky. Coach Switzer was there, and I was in Dallas, and he had a falling out with one of the announcers, and they took another path, and I was next in line, and it's just – I wasn't their first choice, but the man they chose backed out after a day, and then it fell on me. And that's really how it works in the business sometimes. You're not necessarily the first choice. How many head coaches positions have you known through the years where they've gone after their prime candidate, and he said no, and it's fallen to a second guy or a third guy or gal, and they've just ripped it up and been better than you could possibly imagine. So you just never know. When your number's called, you got to go in and pitch a couple innings, or you got to maybe do 3 seasons or whatever my career unfolded for the Cowboys. But I did notice that Dak Prescott wore a Super Bowl champion from the year I got to do the Cowboys T-shirt to the first days at Oxnard when he was signing all the autographs. He had a Cowboys big blue star and world champions from 1995.
Was he born in?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if he was or not. Golly. Well, you got to take pride in what you got. A lot of marriages are like that too. It's not always the first choice.
It doesn't always happen the way that you think it will, but in my life, it always works out.
There you go. Speaking of working out, so, man, Baker reported to training camp without a contract extension. That let's okay. Oh, you guys, let's break this down. So here's Baker's. You got. Let's just break it down. Baker Mayfield, one of the greatest of all time. I'm a huge Baker Mayfield. All right, here. Let's break this down. He does not get an offer, and he has to walk on to Texas Tech.
Right.
He goes in there as a freshman, and leads the Big 12 in passing. Right? With me so far? He gets banged up. They put in a guy named Patrick Mahomes. And then I went on, we're not going to offer you a scholarship. He would have stayed and competed.
Right.
But they didn't offer him a scholarship. He led the Big 12 in passing. They did not offer him a scholarship. So he calls Stoops up and says, hey, I want to come play for you. Now, if you remember, at that time, Trevor Knight was just the MVP of the Sugar Bowl when they beat the brakes off of Alabama.
Right.
I mean, he was a big deal. He was the MVP of the Sugar Bowl that beat Alabama.
Game. I actually was there.
Katy Perry basically undressed him that, hey, I want to date Trevor Knight. And it's a big deal. He says, I ain't scared. I want to come play for you. So he walks on again at OU. Now, Bob, not a dumbass, he gives him a scholarship.
Right.
The rest was history. He wins the Heisman, and he is beloved by all of us, right? If it wasn't for Lincoln Riley, he would have won a national championship with us. I know all of you must love that dude, whatever. But okay. So he gets drafted number 1 overall by the dumbass Cleveland Browns. Now, the Cleveland Browns didn't even start him the first 2 games. He was 0-2 before they started him. They went on to go 7-8-1. But if you break down, he was 7-6-1. So a winning record. But still, let's just pretend like he did all those games. 7-8-1.
At Cleveland.
At Cleveland. The team that won 0 the year before they drafted Baker. 1 the year before. 3 the year before. 4 games in 3 years before they drafted Baker. And they finally put Baker in. And he, as a starter, has a winning percentage. But anyways. He started an 0-2 deficit in 7. He took them to the playoffs in 2020 with an 11-5 record. Again, say it right, Cleveland. And they actually beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in a playoff game. I don't know if you remember that, but they played Kansas City with the Patrick Mahomes, and they should have won that game. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, I guess. But they lost 22-17. The first playoff game they had in 18 years. Add another 7 years to that for their last playoff win. In 21, they went 8-9, but he played with remember he had a bad shoulder. I mean, real bad shoulder. Needed surgery. He made Cleveland Browns not a joke. Cleveland was a joke, and now they're a joke again. And then they just threw him away for Deshaun Watson. And what did they get, like $240 million? And it was all 100% guaranteed. 100. We don't care if you play. We're going to give you $240. Just come here, Deshaun. And by the way, he hadn't played a lot. And when he did play, he sucked. So last year, after Baker, post-Baker, they won 5. The year before that, they won 3. Post-Baker, 4 years, they won 26. Baker, years, won 32. Without being a starter the first 2 games. The 4 years before that, 11 games is what they won. 8 years, the 8 previous years, they only won 29. 3 shy of the 4 that Baker put up 32. And then they punked him and they sent him to Carolina. They also punked Sam Darnold in Carolina. Like, y'all suck. By the way, Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl. And he can't even hold Baker's jock. So that dumbass gets fired, and Sean McVay gets him, goes to L.A., and, who's the quarterback at L.A.? Come on, David. Matthew Stafford, right?
Big guy.
Yep, the MVP, right? So he gets hurt. In comes Baker, and he kills it. And then, after that, they don't really offer him anything, and Tampa Bay picks him up, and he plays for, well, to me, it's a lot of money, but peanuts compared to other quarterbacks. And what does he have to do? He has to replace the great Tom Brady. Everybody loves him. LUV, baby. Most importantly, those guys in the locker room The locker room guys love him. They will go through a brick wall for this guy. That alone, you should open up your wallet and say, here, come on. We want you. You're our franchise. But they're not. They're just jacking around. Sign the guy, man. He's earned a check finally. So since he's been in Tampa Bay, I want you to listen to this. Your NFL passing yard leaders are this. Number 1, Jared Goff. Another guy McVay threw away. Number 2, Matthew Stafford. Number 3, Baker freaking Mayfield. Pay the guy. Number 4, by the way, is a guy named Josh Allen. Number 5 is a guy named Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, Baker freaking Mayfield. Most TD passes. Number 1, Jared Goff. Number 2, Baker freaking Mayfield. What are you doing, Tampa Bay? What are they doing? What are they doing, Dave?
Well, my gut is, without knowing an extensive amount of details, and I don't get into that game as much as I used to. I don't have to know it every day. Somebody wants to give me a sports talk show, but then I'll study up. But deadlines make deals, and he wants to be a franchise quarterback, and they're kind of balking at that figure, and all that is up until game day or even into season. I don't know what the deadlines are, but a lot of that's just poker player. And keep your poker face and say what you need to say and do what you need to do and then go perform. But Baker's kind of backed himself up into a couple of scenarios where, are you going to make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Now, we may think that he should be. I don't, he doesn't fit the size requirement. He doesn't fit a whole bunch of the regular criteria that NFL scouts and coaches and others want, or he's not buddies enough with those who will push those buttons for him inside an organization to get him what he wants. So he has to kind of play his own hand. And right now it's griping. It's complaining about it a little bit. And then what you have to do if you're him is either hold out, which he's probably not going to do because he's a little up there in his years now in the NFL, or play poker with him and see if it pays off somewhere down the line. And I think that's what he did when he first got to Tampa Bay. He was biding his time, and then he got the spotlight, and he's always shined when he's been given the spotlight. But he's going to be given the spotlight now. They're probably looking at him as, are you a Super Bowl quarterback, or is this a team that we can get to the Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield? There are other decisions that go on in the backs of scouts and owners and people's minds when they're trying to make these decisions. So right now they're in that what I would call a gray area of negotiation or signing, and we'll see how it plays out. But I've seen some of his complaints, and some of them are warranted. But some of them are just gamesmanship. They're playing poker hands.
Well, your Cowboys Jerry Jones is the worst. And this is where they get in trouble. It seems like a lot of money. And we could probably get Baker for less than this, but someone will pay him. Someone will pay him.
They will. Here's the other thing. You don't want to have two big times on your roster. It just doesn't ever work out, like Stafford and Mayfield, if you will, from the previous example. And so they're playing that mathematic formula in the back of their mind too. But Baker's come back out and just shown everyone what he could do. I think he's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott because he knows how to win. I don't know. There's so much money now invested in Dak Prescott in Dallas, you almost have to give it to him. But I was going to say this, and I'll divert just a little bit from Baker Mayfield. Jerry Jones doesn't have to win anymore. He fills the stadium. He makes $1 gazillion. He's sold out every weekend. They sell out the end zones on that $29 ticket, and there's no scoreboard pressure for Dallas to have to win a Super Bowl, which is really, in the past, the big payday for equity in the NFL. Jerry has gotten that team and that city and that stadium and that fandom where they're having fun no matter what, so he does not have to win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying he's not trying to. I'm just saying he doesn't have to. There isn't that pressure in Dallas anymore. And that probably plays into whether or not we want to mess up our hand to get Baker Mayfield or whatever you're implying.
No, I get it. But two things on the Jerry Jones front, from what I can tell. One, he's 180 years old, so he doesn't have to win because his summers are really running out. However, He'll probably outlive me by 30 years. Saying that, all being said. But what he does is he'll dance with Dak Prescott. He could have got Dak Prescott a year or two early and signed him for what he didn't want to sign him for. But he holds out and holds out right before training camp, right before it's over. And then he pays him $10.5 million more than what he could have got him 2 years previous. And he's done that over and over and over again. Two with Jerry Jones, as much as he doesn't have to win, because they are the Chicago Cubs of the NFL, right? The Chicago Cubs didn't win anything for 100 years, but they kept filling Wrigley Field all the time. And just Cub fanatics. Yes, he's got that built. But I will say, I think some people are jumping off. They're finding new teams. They're getting off that because that's a long time since Troy Aikman from Henrietta. So
31 years.
If you wait the way it is going now, if you wait, like the Thunder with Shea, oh my God, I can't believe he made so much money. But if they would have waited 3 years, it'd have been $15 million more. In 3 years, it'll look kind of like a steal because you'll see somebody that's not Shea at Gilgeous-Alexander making more money. I promise you. So you can play that, and you can do a franchise tag, which they probably will next year. They'll probably dance with him, and he'll make plenty of money. Don't feel sorry for Baker. He'll be all right. But he's not getting what he should like everybody else. And you bring up Dak. Yeah, they're paying a lot of money. He was the number one paid quarterback at the time. And it's gone up from there. So give the man a contract. That's all I'm saying. He's going to play his tail off this year. Someone will pay him.
Yes, and it will have to be probably the old Baker way. And there's some abnormality in there which doesn't click him in with these teams immediately. In college, his dad was blamed for being a helicopter dad. Too much influence over, are you going to play my son or how are you going to take care of him? I don't know that that's true, but those stories were out there back in the day. I don't know. Baker's done everything as far as community, marriage.
Yes, absolutely.
Gotten in a little trouble when he was in his college or late college days, but almost everybody does. Heck, I've been in trouble. Everybody gets in trouble at some point in their upbringing and finally try to see the light. I think he saw the light, and I think he got his act together, and he most definitely has the I will win attitude. Doesn't always win, but it's the we're not going to lose with me at quarterback. You've got to have that kind of mentality. So he will take that to someplace eventually before his career is over. Hopefully doesn't have injury in it, because a lot of times when folks are getting ready to take the stage in their biggest time ever, they'll get hurt. So it has to play out. Yes, he's still a quality quarterback, and he's still a viable person in the league. It's just that you get a little older, and the ownerships and general managers have stars in their eyes about up-and-comers and where would he fit.
He is awesome. He is awesome. I think he had the most fourth quarter comebacks last year. He just willed it. He just made it happen. And it wasn't just, if this guy caught this pass, this guy caught this pass. It'd be 3rd down and 18, and he would just roll out and not let anybody tackle him and pick up the first and make it drive.
He does have that wheels skill.
He's that guy. He's that guy you want. I don't know if there's another quarterback I would want to go out there. He's got the swag. He's got everything. Yeah, you're right. He's a college kid that got drunk. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I'll take him. I'll take 10 of them. I'll take 10 of them every night. He didn't bet on anybody. He bet on himself, and he won every time, and he's going to win again. Tampa Bay, you're making a mistake. Listen to me. Langford went out, and he said a couple of things. All the stuff we missed because we had the distance and 15 different masks. People miss. They had people dying in hospitals, and they couldn't get to them because it had to be walled off. A lot of people missed school. The proficiency in English has dropped way down because they didn't go to school. And they missed proms. but not my good old buddy Mark Peterson. He got to go to a lot. See, he lived in a different time.
Fauci didn't shut all that down.
Shut it down.
That wasn't his checked box.
No, but
other administration did the same. They didn't have to look at the administration now. Do they mind what their advisors tell them now? No. Why would you want to? You didn't mind him when he was using his 50 years of medical science and epidemiology.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
Up to that point, we choose not to believe you, but we're going to charge you with everything that happened since we didn't believe you.
Except for the fact that he made millions of dollars off of this.
You must watch one channel.
No, I'll watch them all. Not very long. I just get the real pertinent information and dial it in. I read the whole thing, though. I don't just read the first sentence and then pop off on Facebook like some people. Not you, but some people. You know what I'm talking about.
If I ever pop off on Facebook, I'll guarantee you I'm coming with receipts. And I've thought about it 50,000 times over the last 4 years. I will have receipts. I would probably not take the fifth, and you probably wouldn't want to hear what I have to say.
You know, I'll listen to anybody. You know who will take the fifth? These other dealers, when they tell you all this crap and it's a bunch of bull, and you come in there and you say, I thought you said I'm taking 15 grand off. I plead the fifth. Oh, it's not here. What about this one? I plead the fifth. Not me. I tell you I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You come in. I'm not pleading the fifth. Here it is. Right here. Open up the doors. Drive it. You like it? 15 grand off. Oh, and there's no extra for the 15-year, 150,000 miles? No. That's crazy. I thought there would be. No. That's just what happens. We don't plead the fifth at Love Ford, David. We make it happen. What else? What else we got? What else we got going on in the world? You know, I do have a coaching corral coming in the middle of August with Cade McFarland. I don't know if we got Beggs coming in yet or not. I don't even know. Who is that coach? Do you know?
David Shannon.
David Shannon. Yeah. We'd love to have him out. David, if you're listening, come on out. You can be a part of this thing. We did it last year. We had local coaches around, you know, and they're small, which is interesting, you know, to see how because a lot of these teams are revamping their stuff and getting after it. So it's interesting to hear how they're doing it. And Oak Mogi coach last year, he's a tough nosed guy. He was like a Hoosier coach.
I'm not aware of the name.
Did you ever watch Hoosiers?
No.
Gene Hackman?
Oh, Gene Hackman. Yeah, I know. Gene Hackman was the coach in Hoosiers.
Yes. And when he
never saw the movie though.
He put one of the. You never saw the movie? Oh,
well, here's the deal.
We
I don't like
that.
sports movies because they don't. Now that one did, but they depict. They don't depict what actually happens out there. There are a few that are close, but
that was the greatest movie. That was the greatest sports movie. You got to see that. So Gene benches one of his guys, and he's only got 4 guys on the floor. And he goes, or no, he benches one of his guys. He put another guy in. He fouls out. And he's like, got nobody else he's got to send in. And the other kid just gets up like he's going back in. He's like, sit back down. And the referee comes over and he goes, Coach, you got to have 5. No, I don't. My team's on the floor. My team's on the floor. And he ran with 4. He got his brains beat in, but he didn't care. That's kind of what that Okima coach reminded me of last year. And hopefully this year he can field a little bit more and we'll get some more W's. But that was pretty impressive listening to him. So it'll be exciting. August 15th, tune in to this very channel, 97.1, The Sports Animal, and we'll hear how these guys drill in and get these guys ready to go be men on the football field. What do you got, Dave? We're running out of time. You know,
we report to school August 10th. I'm going to sponsor a broadcasting class, and I'm going to try to train a bunch of kids on how to do play-by-play informationally, not right, because there is no right or wrong, because a lot of us have our own styles, but I'm going to try to share what God has given me in gifts back with these kids, and I've gotten certified to teach these areas, and so I'm going to try to make a robust football, basketball, softball, baseball, streamcast team over the next 10 months.
You that's a good point. You just said is there's no right or wrong on that. And I would be interested, and I probably will. I'll call some of my old professors, journalism schools. It was, back in my day, the biggest thing they would say is be objective. Be objective. And I would assume that's the same thing in sports, right? I mean, if you're the Dallas Cowboy, you got to be a Dallas Cowboy. You know, you can tell that lean. But if you're just doing a broadcast like Aikman on NFL Today or whatever, Fox, him and Joe Buck. By the way, Joe Buck just got something. But they're supposed to be objective, right? It's the game. It's the game. And you're not supposed to show favoritism to either side. Is that changed when you're teaching these kids nowadays?
Well, the fairness doctrine was done away with several previous administrations ago, and you don't have to be fair anymore. You can pick up sides and say it your way. But I will say this. I don't watch games wanting my team to win anymore, and anytime the announcer says something that might sound off, they don't have any effect on what's happening down on the field. And most of the time, the gripes about, well, he was a prejudice against us, or he didn't want us to win. That's not true. And so I would blanket that over Aikman and Buck for sure. I know them both, and I think they're fair announcers. Hometown announcers could get a little bit that way, but really you're playing to your audience. When you're playing to a national audience, you're not playing to little bitty Oklahoma. You're playing to a great big United States. Right. And so we get our fifis hurt every once in a while if people don't say it the right way. I'm telling you, most of the time they have their agenda to do the best that they can in sports. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily in news, but in sports. I think they're all pretty fair.
You brought it up earlier. You only listen to one channel. It's because they are definitely slanted one way or the other, for sure. Objectivity. Walter Cronkite would just roll over in his grave right now.
Doris Burke, Thunder fans jumped on her.
Absolutely.
I'm not a big fan of hers, but I don't think what she said was completely didn't hurt the Thunder. It might have helped fire them up, but they don't have their finger on the button of the outcome of the game. And so many people have these ideas in their head that there's the fix in, or if you say it a certain way, the team has less a chance to win than if I said it a different way. All that is BS. So most of them work really hard, and especially at that level and the money they make, and it's studying and knowing the game. And then they're just doing their best too. They don't walk home at night and undress and have a Cowboys T-shirt on underneath or a Thunder T-shirt on, and they don't. And if you look at Los Angeles or New York writers and broadcasters, they for sure bias toward their area. They don't think the rest of us exist. So you do have some gripes there, but that's opinion, not game broadcast.
Right. Yeah, they're doing. Yeah, I got you. So, well, folks, that's about as good as you can get. I'll tell you exactly how it goes, and that's why I only listen to Toby on the OU broadcast. I'm always searching out Toby because I want to hear my way of thinking on that game.
And that's fair. And he gives you your way of thinking.
And he gives me my way of thinking. And by the way, it's the right way. The Sooner way. And never forget, that's the best way. And the best way to buy a car is at Love Ford and Henrietta. Come out and see me today. The incentives, they're supposed to end it at the end of July, but they haven't got the new ones out, so you can still take advantage of what I got going on, and it's huge. Come out today, come see me. And as always, that's LUV, baby. Peace. LUV, baby.
Go to Henrietta, that old law is bound to get her, 'cause in Henrietta, dancing ain't allowed. Rock, jump, stomp, bop, man, they're really hopping in Muskogee. They're twisting up the